everyone, go back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you haven't been enjoying, you never know, it could happen. I seriously don't know if I'm even saying all those words anymore. Thanks so much for stopping by yet again. This is my update for the month of November, and then we're going to get into my TBR for the month of December. All right, let's get into the November update. November update, first things first. I only got to 3 books, and really just 2, and then 2/3 of another, and so it was a rough month. If you're counting books, if you're counting pages, it's probably more than most, frankly. And that's the delight of reading fantasy books. They often are very big, and as you know, it's that time of the year, and reading the big fantasy books. So first things first, before we get into that, so really just 2 books that I actually read in November. Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. Excellent. I love, it was so good to be back to Michael J. Sullivan. It has been too long. I've read the Rhaenyra Revelations. I read, I think the first, at least 1, if not 2, I think maybe just 1 in the Chronicles, so I need to catch up, back up on that. But I was like, you know what? I'm going into the Legends of the First Empire, book 1, and it was excellent. I mean, Michael J. Sullivan just has this, it's just like this freshness to his writing, and then in the dialogue, and everything just flows so seamlessly, and you're getting this backstory and history without too much like slog through it, which is very impressive. So anyway, always love me some Michael J. Sullivan, and this one did not disappoint. Then I get into my Stormlight reading because I did finish Dawnshard, and it was excellent. And you know what? It's pretty much the length of a pretty normal novel, just not a Brandon Sanderson sized novel. So I'm counting it. I got to have something to pad my numbers. I'm getting a little nervous. I'm a little behind now based on some things. But anyway, Dawnshard, I have to say, I liked better than Edge Dancer. Edge Dancer I liked a lot. I did read A Secret History. That was really good too. But this one, I think, might be my favorite of these little, I love just these little books. They're so cool. Little hardback, awesome books. I think it's genius. And they're really not even that bad. I mean, $11 for a little hardback. I love it. It's worth it. The story's just great. I love the use. I think this one especially, because it's the focus of this character, and I don't want to get into spoilers because it is essentially book 3.5. And it just, I like the way that Sanderson with the Stormlight Archive, and he's very cognizant of different abilities, right? And the, you know, people just, and I love that he's really just, you know, in a fantasy world, it could easily be a place that's, again, so hard and crazy that, you know, if you have some kind of, well, and like in this case, you're unable to walk, well, I guess you're just dead, pretty much, right? In a medieval time, maybe that is the case even. I love how Sanderson takes that and goes, all right, but they still have a brain. They still have so many other great qualities. And in fact, is that even really a bad quality, right? So there's just, I love this like just kind of twist on such a traditional notion that I'm just, it's nice to see that it's like honestly, that it is a different ability that, you know, again, the main character has, and again, the focus on that. I just think, and you get throughout the whole series, you get people with depression, like real signs of depression. It doesn't say that in the Stormlight Archive, but that clearly is. There's a character with this depression. There's a character with autism. And it's not like, well, they must be terrible and let's just ignore them, you know, or, oh no, this bad thing happened, so I guess they're just forever tainted, you know. And I just think like you can get into certain things and certain, again, traditional outlooks maybe. I don't know. I really like it. It's been really fun to read. This is just a great take. So those were my 2 books with some dabbling in some graphic novels, but the big one was Rhythm of War. I've been cranking through. I got about 2/3 of the way done by the end of the month. And so, but it's a behemoth, right? It's like 1,200 pages hardback. And I'm loving it. It is great. Great to be back. I love this. And so that's getting into, so that's essentially the 2 3/4 books that I read, but the 3/4 is like 700 pages in hardback, so it's really like 2 more books. So I'm basically on track, and I'm okay with it. But anyway, let's get into December. What am I going to read in December? Rhythm of War. So anyway, we'll finish this up. I hope to finish it up any day now. We're getting there. We're very close. I tried to align it with Wind and Truth, as you may hear about here in a second, but I may not be exactly on. I wasn't ever going to read Wind and Truth before everyone anyway, but I would like to be on the ball this time and not have any spoilers. That's kind of my goal too. But obviously, it also helps the channel to talk any Brandon Sanderson whatsoever, really, but especially Stormlight Archive. But anyway, Wind and Truth, very excited for. I imagine that you are too, maybe, just maybe. And I am very excited. I cannot wait. I think, again, there's a great article I'm going to feature in my news segment tomorrow. That's the goal. But I think it's an Esquire article. This is a big, huge culmination. Obviously, each Stormlight takes years. You know, he takes breaks and publishes multiple different books in between. And then he takes a whole solid period of time to really get a Stormlight Archive book going. And so this is the end of the first arc. So I'm sure it just, not only are expectations just through the roof, but like this could make or break things, right? Like, I mean, it could. And I don't think Brandon Sanderson will do that. I just feel like the more I've read this and the more, I mean, having read Wheel of Time and kind of seen what he learned through that, I just think it's so cool that he was able to do the Wheel of Time and balance just so many characters, so many things that he's done this before. He's ended things very well, and I'm excited for a slight end of a first arc, which is just a slight end. All right, in my mad dash for the end of the year to meet my goal on Goodreads, which I'm getting a little nervous. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous, but I think I can get there. We'll see. But anyway, I would like to read Lightfall. As I had mentioned before, I do have until mid-January at least, so this may even get kicked to January, but I already started, couldn't resist, and it's really cool so far. I love this world of different kinds of supernatural creatures that live in it, and no humans, at least as far as I can tell so far in the first like 2 pages. So, or maybe like 20. But anyway, I'm very excited. It's so cool. It's a fun concept already, and I'm excited to see what more this brings. All right, then another I would like to, if I have the time. It's just that, man, these Stormlight Archive books, they take like a full month to read for me. So it's like, it's hard to fit other things in, especially when I'm trying to crank out to a goal that I'm trying to get to here. But I would like to, if I have the time, continue Age of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. That is book 2 in the Legends of the First Empire. I want to keep going. There's 6 books in that. I don't want to have to reread anything, as I do to myself way too often. Would like to keep that going. Then, because I will be a little bit of padding, it sounds like, just for book numbers. I mean, I feel like my page numbers are pretty good, pretty solid. But anyway, probably some graphic novels. I wanted to finish the Long Halloween duology, really. This is the sequel to the Long Halloween, Dark Victory. Maybe even throw in some One Piece. That's very good for padding your numbers. I have some Ninja Turtles graphic novels, The Last Ronin, stuff like that. So got some options. It's just got to find the time, right? Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know what you are reading. Go check out the merch at BellTube that I get nothing from, but other than I really like BellTube. And anyway, we'll catch you next time. Bye.